Hello students, today we're doing lesson 8.7, which is on special products. And so we have 9 examples to do today, and we're going to do some examples, and then I'm going to show you kind of a shortcut for each kind. But if you can't understand the shortcuts, then just do it the normal way. Okay, so let's start with example 1. So example 1 is x plus 2 squared. So these special products, I'm going to show you like different types that have special ways of doing them. And a lot of them are the ones that are squared here. So what would you do if this said x plus 2 squared? Okay, you're not going to do like this. We don't do distributive property with exponents. You just write out what that means. So x plus 2 squared means x plus 2 times x plus 2. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing we did before. So some of these are going to be pretty simple compared to like what you did yesterday. And so I'm going to multiply like this. And so I get x squared plus 2x. And then I'm going to do the next one. 2x plus 4. And then I'm going to put together my like terms. So I get x squared plus 4x plus 4. And that's my answer. Okay, that was pretty easy, right? The problem is that some kids take this and they try to do that in their head. And so that's a little bit harder. And I'm going to show you how to do it in your head in a minute. But let's go ahead and go to example 2. Now, this one I want you to do on your own. It's 3x minus 4 squared. So remember, you're going to take it and write it into 2 parentheses like this one up here, and then you're going to just solve it like we did the last 2 lessons. So go ahead and hit pause and solve that one on your own. Okay, now you should be back, and so you should have taken this parentheses and written it out twice. Okay, and then just gone ahead and done your distributive property. So 3x times 3x is 9x squared. 3x times minus 4 is minus 12x. Then I'm going to go to the other side, and that's going to be minus 12x. And minus 4 times minus 4 is plus 16. And now I'm just going to put my like terms together, so that's going to be minus 24x. And there's my answer, 9x squared minus 24x plus 16. Okay? Okay, now the last one is we're going to solve it. I'm going to go ahead and have you solve it on your own, and then we're going to talk about how we could do it differently. Okay, so here we have a plus b squared. Okay, so go ahead and hit pause and solve this one on your own. Okay, now that you're back, you should have done a plus b times a plus b. And this one, I'm going to think some of y'all probably messed up on this one because there's some tricks here. So I have a times a. Remember, a times a is a squared, not 2a. So we have a squared. And then a times b is ab. Now when I come to the next one, to this b, and I go b times a, remember to put that in alphabetical order. So I have ab, not ba. And then the last one, b times b, same thing as over here. When you have b times b or x times x, it's a b squared. So now I have a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So remember, when I have something like this, when I have a plus ab, that's going to give me 2ab. Okay, and there's my answer. So let's talk about how we could have done this differently over here. So it's kind of like a shortcut. So if I just had this part and I didn't want to write it all out, the trick is going to be that I'm going to take the first one and I'm going to square it. So don't think of this as distributive property because it will mess you up. But I'm going to take the first one and square it. So I'm going to go a squared. And I'm going to take the last one and square it. So I'm going to have b squared. So those are these two right here, right? Now to get that middle number, this is when you're trying to do this shortcut, a lot of kids forget the middle part. And so that's why doing the shortcut way is not the best thing for everybody, but I do like to show y'all how to do it. So now when you do the middle one, you're going to take these two together. You're going to multiply these two. So I know that says plus, but remember, we're doing a shortcut. So I'm going to multiply them. I'm going to say AB. A times B is AB. And then I'm going to double that. So then I'm going to multiply it times 2. So see how I got the same thing right here? Okay, so I squared each of these, right? So I squared each of those. And then for the middle one, I multiply them and then times that by 2. So I need double that. So let's look at each of these and see if that would work. If I took this one and I squared each of these, so I got x squared, and at the end I'm going to have 4 because 2 times 2 is 4. Then to get my middle number, I'm going to multiply these. So I'm going to go x times 2 is 2x, but then I'm going to double that. So it's going to be 4x. So see how I got the same thing as here? Okay, let's try it on this one. I'm going to square each of these. So that's going to give me 9x squared and 16 plus 16 is minus 4 times minus 4 is a 16. Now I'm going to multiply both of these. So when I multiply both of these, I get negative 12x, right? 3x times 4 or times negative 4 is a negative 12x. But then I need to double it. So I'm going to multiply it by 2 and I get minus 24x. See how that gives me the same answer? Okay, now I want you to do this one on your own. Okay, you can try the shortcut way or you cannot do the shortcut way. That's up to you. 2x minus 5 squared. Okay, go ahead and hit pause and do this one on your own. Okay, now that you're back, let's go ahead and try it the shortcut way first. So I'm going to take each of these numbers and I'm going to square them. And I'm going to put one at the front and one at the back. So 2x would be 4x squared. So remember, I'm doing 2x times 2x. Okay? And that gives me 4x squared. Okay, now at the end, I have minus 5. So negative 5 times negative 5 is going to give me 25 plus 25. Be careful with your signs also. Okay, now for that middle number, I'm going to multiply both of these together. So that gives me negative 10x. And then I'm going to double it. So that gives me minus 20x. And there's my answer for the shortcut way. Okay, if you didn't do the shortcut way and you went and wrote this out twice, then let's solve it that way. I have 2x times 2x is 4x squared. And then 2x times minus 5 is a minus 10x. Then down here I have minus 5 times 2x, which is minus 10x. And minus 5 times minus 5 is plus 25. So this one just has one more step. I need to put my like terms together. So minus 10x plus minus 10x is a minus 20x plus 25. And see how I got the same answer. They're the same thing. Okay, now we need to go to example 6. And these are, example 5. And these are going to be different. So those were all squares, right? Those all had squares in them. So now I'm going to move on to example 5, and these are not going to be square. So I'm going to have x minus 4 times x plus 4. So what makes this one special is that the parentheses are exactly the same, except for one is minus and one is plus. So we're going to do this one together, and then we'll do the next one on your own, and then on the third one, I'll show you the shortcut trick. Okay, so I'm going to go x times x is x squared, negative, that's not the one I want to do, and then x times 4 is 4x, and then the other side, negative 4 times x is minus 4x, or negative 4x, and negative 4 times negative 4 is minus 16. Okay, now I'm going to put together my like terms. So 4x minus 4x is 0, right? So all I have left is x squared minus 16. So those middle two terms canceled each other out and got 0. Okay, so that was it for that one. Pretty easy. Same thing we've been doing. Y'all are probably saying, oh, I know how to do all this. That's good. You should know how to do all of it. The trick, though, is I'm going to show you tricks at the end of each of these. Okay, so next one is 3x plus 5 times 3x minus 5. So this one's a little bit harder because it has the 3x, but go ahead and hit pause and solve it on your own. Okay, now you should be back, and I'm going to solve this one. I'm going to go 3x times 3x is 9x squared. 3x minus 5 is minus 15x. And on this side, we have 5 times 3x, which is plus 15x. And the last one is 5 minus 5 is minus 25. Now, when I put my like terms together, minus 15x plus 15x is 0, so I don't need to write that one. And then, so then I just have minus 25. So there's my answer. Is that what y'all got? Hopefully it is. Okay, now let's learn the shortcut. Okay, so this one is going to be just x plus y, times x minus, oh, I keep writing the wrong thing, x minus y. Okay, so this one is just like you notice on these last two that we had the same thing in each parentheses, but one was a plus and one was a minus. So on this example 6, we had 3x and 5 on both of them, but one was a plus and one was a minus. It doesn't matter which order. The first one could be minus and the second one plus, or the other way around. So on this example, same thing. I have x and y both in the parentheses, but one is plus and one is minus. So the trick is, because if you notice on both of these, every time these middle numbers, the two middle ones, always canceled each other out. They became 0. And that will happen every time if you have the same numbers, but one is plus and one is minus. So up here, we did not have that. These all had a middle number, but we figured out how to get that middle number by multiplying and timesing by 2. Well, on this one, the trick is that there will be no middle number because it's always going to equal 0. So instead of worrying about that, on these types of problems, all you have to do is multiply the first ones, x squared, and multiply the last ones, y squared, and then the sign in the middle is always going to be minus because this is a plus y and a minus y. And I don't have to write that middle number because it's going to be 0. Remember, this is not for all problems. It's only the ones that are exactly the same with a plus and a minus sign. Okay, so that was it. See, these are super easy if you remember what type they are. Okay, so now I want you to do example 8 on your own. So example 8 is going to be 3x plus 7 times 3x minus 7. So go ahead and do it the shortcut way and see if you get the right answer. Go ahead and hit pause now. Okay, now you should be back. So we're going to multiply the first two, which comes out to 9x squared, and multiply the last two, which is plus 7 and minus 7. So that's minus 49. And that's your answer. Now, if you had done it the long way, you would have gotten 9x squared plus 21x minus 21x minus 49. And then these two middle numbers would equal 0. And so that's why we didn't have a middle number here. Okay? Okay, last problem for today, and that's example 9. And this one does not have a trick to it. I just need to show you how to do it. So this one is going to be x plus 8 to the third power. Okay, you are not going to say, oh, that's x cubed plus 24. This is what answer I'll get from some kids. Nope, that is not the answer. It's not that easy. So after I do it, you'll probably wish it was that easy because this one has more steps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go x plus 8 times x plus 8 times x plus 8. Okay? Or you could do x plus 8 squared times x plus 8 because we know how to do this one as a special products. We know the trick to that one, right? But I'm going to go ahead and do it out this way. For those of you who aren't understanding the tricks, I'm just going to show you how to do it. And I shouldn't be saying tricks. They're just shortcuts. Okay, so first I'm not going to even look at this one, okay? I'm going to just do the first two. So I have x squared plus 8x. And then on the bottom I have 8x plus 64. Okay, and that's all going to be times this x plus 8. But before I multiply by that x plus 8, I'm going to put together my like terms. So I have x squared plus 16x plus 64, all times x plus 8. Okay, now this is just like last lesson where you had a lot to multiply by. So I'm going to just go through and multiply all of this. So I have x cubed plus 8x squared. I'm going to do this one, and that's going to give me 16x squared. And this one is going to give me, what is 16 times 8? That should be 128x. Yep. Okay, and then the last one, 64 times x is 64x. And 64 times 8, I'm going to use calculator real quick, and that's 512. Okay, so now I'm going to put together my like terms, which are right here and right here. So I get x cubed plus 24x squared plus 192x plus 512. So that's my final answer. And so there's no trick to this one. The only thing is that you have to do it in steps. So if you have a cubed here, just multiply the first two parentheses, get an answer, put together your like terms, which is what I did right here. And then on your next one, then you do another problem. So it's like having two problems in one. And that's it for today. Bye, everyone.